All right, next there's Queer Up Politics. This is the VP candidate you didn't know existed 30 days ago. Except for this guy, this gay student, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz was recently named vice president nominee of Kamala Harris. But a month ago, most of the LGBTQ community knew nothing about him. It is now a well-established fact that he has a legacy tied to his high school years. Media has focused much on Coach Tim's roles as a faculty advisor for a gay-straight alliance club, which he helped establish during his tenure as a teacher and coach. Even Vice President Kamala Harris highlighted Walz's commitment in her speech, but very few know Gwen Walz, Tim's wife, also played an equally pivotal role. As an English teacher at the same high school, Gwen's support was crucial for a student named Jacob Radin, who faced relentless bullying for his sexuality. Radin recalls bullying and enduring further harassment throughout high school. At age 15, Radin was deeply impacted when Gwen Walz declared her classroom a safe space for LGBTQ students. He said, "I did not know any gay people, and there were no gay people on TV then." This gesture gave him hope and eventually led him to come out to Gwen and his parents. Gwen Walz's dedication to LGBTQ support stems from her Christian faith. Ain't that something? Emphasizing that, quote, God creates people in the way they are supposed to be, whether that is gay or straight. Inspired, Radin founded the GSA at his high school, and Tim Walz supported distributing leaflets to promote the new club. While the nation has recently come to know about the allyship of Tim Walz, Radin's story reveals that he was already making a difference long before his current prominence. Long before he did anything where politics were the motivation. Now, this is special to me because I wasn't out yet, but I still joined GSA, and we had a straight teacher, and kind of, what do you call it when the teachers, there's a faculty member that has to sponsor.
Yeah.
And it was shocking to me then. And it's funny because when you're in that moment, you're so scared, but then you're judging everything and you're so uneasy about it. Well, the first thing I thought was, oh, this teacher has to be gay. And it took me like 2 or 3 weeks, after doing some thorough investigation, that he wasn't. And it motivated me to be myself and to come out, because there's people out there that are going to be on my side, whether they're gay or straight, and it has nothing to do with religion, it has nothing to do with politics, it has nothing to do with my skin color. And it was so motivating, and it's so nice to hear, because this is the first time outside of my experience that I hear of someone else doing it, especially someone now that is, running for such a big position, big office, or elected position. I think this is super motivating. Shout out, obviously, to the VP candidate, but to Radin as well, who was able to kind of give this story out and make people feel, relatable, make people feel like this is something that can happen in their community.
I mean, Coach Walz is just giving big dad energy. Not daddy, no. Big dad. He's like the Midwest big dad everyone. But I also want to credit, Mrs. Walz for using citing her religion as a reason to become an ally for the LGBTQ plus community. All too often, we only see in our community, we only see the Bible when they're being clonked on top of our heads by conservatives, by evangelicals, and by other bigots of all stripes. Now, there's actually someone, a vice presidential nominee's wife, who openly cites her Christian belief as a way to say, we do not discriminate against other people. That's my religious way.
This has been such a positive story, and the whole Walz family, because yesterday was the big DNC, introducing the VP nominee. It's all just been really wonderful to see it showcased. Walz and his wife both seem like really wonderful people, and it's been such a relief as someone who's worked for the Democratic Party before, to be like, oh wow, this group, the current presidential nominee, they seem so nice and not toxic and not a giant problem, because it's become such a rarity in politics.
There's no cleanup involved.
I mean, nice. No couches were harmed by the Walzes.
They definitely tried too. They definitely went on search to see if there was anything to get up Tim Walz, but
digging.
And I think we should all remember, for those of us that have had gay straight alliances in schools, it's always been wonderful. I remember my old teacher Beth Ferrani. She was a great gay straight alliance advisor. I don't know if any you've had one. Have you had
I think I had one, but you know, I'm old now. I don't remember high school.
But it's life-changing at that age.
Well, we had a gay straight alliance at my school. It was the theater department.
I was going to say my school was absolutely a lot more glee than Friday Night Lights. Like I went to a school where like theater kids reign supreme. So
And you know what's crazy? I wonder if he even, because in my GSA, like you didn't mention who was part of the club. It was always during a class. So you snuck out as if you were going to the
Well, it wasn't like an extracurricular after school?
It wasn't after school. It was like, it had to have been like a very, a secretive club. Because obviously that's where you want the support. You don't want everybody to know. And so who knows if Tim did the same thing and this is the only time it's actually come out, which is great. I think it's phenomenal.
Well, notice that they brought his actual championship team on the stage,
right?
And no one has tried to swim. I mean, no one has tried. All the digging hasn't found and students that want to openly profess.
No, this is the worst, Dave. This is the worst they're gonna find.
Right.